Hello, good evening my friends. God bless you. For last few days, I am keep reading the same chapter over and over again. 1 King chapter 18. And I am fascinated by this story. It is a story about the wicked king Ahab, his wicked queen Jezebel, and great prophet of Old Testament Elijah. How Elijah proved that God, Yahweh, is the real God by bringing fire from heaven, consuming the sacrifice. It's a famous story. You have heard it, read it so many times. But every time I'm reading this story, God is unveiling certain things that I would love to share with you. And today I'm going to talk about the unknown prophets. There are names in this story. There is a name from the king Ahab. There is a name of prophet Elijah. There is a Elijah. There is a name of the servant in the house of King Ahab in his palace named Obadiah. But there is a unnamed 100 prophets that were saved in the cave because Queen Jezebel was killing all God's prophets. And there are no names about these 100 prophets. But then if we put ourselves in the shoes of those prophets, and if we try to understand this story, it may reveal something significant about you and me. We are ordinary people. Me and you have no great names. Our names are not well famous. Apart from our few friends and close family members, nobody knows us. Who we are, what we believe, what we do, how we feel, nobody knows us. These 100 prophets there is no name about them. Only thing is that they were prophets and they were fearing the God of Israel, Yahweh, Jehovah, and how God is taking care of them. That is the focus for me today. So imagine you are one of that 100 prophets. You are not famous. You are not known, nobody recognizes you, and then you hear that the regime is getting tighter and tighter on the prophet of Yahweh. And then you hear that the king Ahab is very wicked, and he married a very wicked queen, Jezebel, who started killing God's prophet. And if you are one of that 100 prophets, you will think that how I will survive. On one hand, there is a regime. The king and queen are against, and they are ruling with iron fist, killing all the prophets. And if you are one of that prophet, your troubles are not over yet. Because now there is a famine in the land. On one hand, you cannot hide. You have to go out and you have to look for the food, look for the water for your survival. But you can't go out because you will be hunted down, you will be killed. So on one hand, there is a real threat that you are killed. On another hand, there is no option for you. There is no way out. Because the famine was so severe, there was no water, there was no food, and it was not for 1 day, 2 days, for almost 3 years has passed by in this story where there is no rain, and the drought was very severe. And in those times, you don't know how to survive, how to hide. But then you hear that in the same palace where the queen and king are living, God has provided a refuge, a rescuer named Obadiah. And Obadiah sends you a message that come, I am going to hide you in the caves. You don't have to worry about your safety. You don't have to worry about your food. You don't have to worry about your water. You don't have to worry about how you will survive, because I'm going to provide the food. And then you moved into cave for 3 years without stop. God is providing your need through Obadiah. Day in and day out, every single day. You did not go hungry. You were fed and you slept. And you don't have to do anything. And then one night you might be thinking that how wonderful God is. That God has seen me. That even the people does not know that who am I. God has seen me. And God has provided for me. So tonight, if you are one of that 100 prophet, you got to read the story. And you might be thinking that there is a trouble on one hand, there is a trouble on the other hand. There is no way out. You think that you are done. You cannot survive. And nobody knows you. Nobody knows you what troubles is. Nobody knows your name even. You cannot do nothing. You cannot go out. You cannot ask for help. But in those times, God will raise Obadiah in a very unexpected place. How these 100 prophets would have thought, they would have, if they would be praying, they would be thinking that God would provide somewhere, but they would have never thought that their provision will come from the same place where the death and destruction is coming. From the same palace, from the same place where the King Ahab and Jezebel are living. From the same provision God is providing. They would have never thought that. You might be in the same situation. You thought that there is no way out. But there is an unexpected place. God has raised Obadiah. God has provided your provision. And God has your back. Because He loves you. And He cares for you. God bless you. Thank you.